matched. I was never big on dating apps, but loneliness can make you do things you wouldn't normally do. After another night of eating dinner alone, I downloaded one of those trending dating apps. It felt stupid at first. Swiping left, swiping right, judging people based on a handful of pictures and a few words. But after a while, it became mechanical, almost hypnotic. Then I matched with Claire. She had only one picture, a black and white shot of her smiling, long dark hair falling over one shoulder, deep green eyes staring directly into the camera. Her bio was short, looking for something real. Something about her expression drew me in. It wasn't the forced, filtered perfection of most profiles. She looked real. We started chatting right away. She asked me deep, personal questions almost immediately. What scares you the most? What's your worst memory? Do you believe in fate? I answered, drawn in by how engaged she seemed. I asked her the same, but she avoided answering, always shifting the conversation back to me. I should have thought it was strange, but I didn't. I was too flattered by the attention. After a few days, she asked me to meet in person. I'd love to see you, she wrote. Meet me at 8 p.m. at the Lantern Cafe. I hesitated. I'd never heard of it before. When I searched, I found almost nothing. Just an old listing with no recent reviews. The address put it on the outskirts of town, in a part I didn't go to often, but against my better judgment, I agreed. That night I drove out to the cafe. The area was mostly deserted, just a few scattered street lights flickering weakly. The Lantern Cafe was a small, run-down place with a dimly lit neon sign that barely buzzed to life. When I got to the door, my stomach twisted. The sign read, "Closed," but the lights inside were still on. I tried the handle, and to my surprise, the door swung open with a soft creak. Inside, the place was dead silent. No barista, no customers, just the hum of the old ceiling fan and the faint smell of stale coffee and dust. Then I saw her. She was sitting alone at a corner table, completely still. Claire looked exactly like her picture. Same long dark hair, same green eyes. But something was off. Her posture was too rigid, her expression vacant. It was as if she wasn't looking at me, but through me. "Claire?" I asked, my voice unsteady. She smiled, but something about it wasn't right. It was too slow, like she was mimicking an expression rather than making one. "I was waiting for you," she said. I hesitated, my fingers tightening around my phone. Something about this felt wrong, like a dream that was about to turn into a nightmare. I glanced down and pulled up the dating app. I wanted to check our messages, to ground myself. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But her profile was gone. No match, no messages, no trace that she had ever existed. A cold shiver ran down my spine. "You won't find me," Claire said softly. I looked up, my throat dry. "Why not?" Her smile widened, too wide. "Because I don't exist." The room suddenly felt smaller, like the walls were closing in. My heartbeat pounded in my ears. I took a step back. This is a joke, right? She tilted her head, and for the first time, her eyes truly met mine. "You swiped right on something you shouldn't have." The cafe lights flickered. The door behind me slammed shut on its own. I turned to run, but the moment my hand touched the door handle, everything went black. I woke up in my apartment. I had no memory of getting home. My phone was lying on my chest, the screen dark. My head throbbed. The first thing I did was open the dating app. Claire's profile wasn't just gone. Our entire conversation had vanished. It was as if she had never existed. I checked my texts, my call history. Nothing. But then, I noticed something. There was a new picture saved in my gallery, a black and white photo of me, sitting alone in the empty cafe, staring at the camera, smiling.